Okay, we are doing our weekly live chat. Let me know if you can hear me and see me. We are streaming live on Instagram as well as Facebook as well as YouTube. So let me know where you're watching from, and I will be watching for comments on both Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. So we have a lot to talk about. I did post a few things on my Instagram stories, Instagram as well as Facebook stories on a few things that we are going to be talking about. So we'll wait as we all join in this live chat. So I know not someone, but recent news is there has been news on the Fortnite. I think it's Fortnite, right? Whoever plays Fortnite, some Ranger skins, things like that. I don't play Fortnite or anything like that, so but yeah, I think as we wait for people to join here on um this live chat talking about Power Rangers. If there's a few things, especially on the reels, the videos that I've been posting, that I think in the comment section there has been a lot of debate, honestly. So I think before we get started on any of those hot topics, one of the cool things I just got in the mail the earlier this week is this jacket. So um one second. So I got a new jacket. So this is from Nerd. Hold on. It is from Nerdlish. Need. It's Nerdlicious or something like that. Nerdious. It is a, um, as you can tell, if you can look on here, it's a Lost Galaxy jacket. So it has the patch from the GSA. Where's the GSA? So here's the GSA. It's actually comfy. And then we have the patches that are on from the Lost Galaxy. You got the little, like, whatever you call that, and then the V, and then on the back, if you can see, is right there, the Lion Galacticus. So this is a cool thing I've been wearing, especially here out in the cold. So, um, but yeah, if you haven't checked out his work, he has several different seasons as well as Super Sentai. Some cool ones, especially for SPD. So check it out. There's these zip ups, bomber jackets. There's other websites that I am eyeing on. I think it's either Gear Human or something that they have some good. I know people are not liking Megaforce, but for the people that like Megaforce, it's actually there's a cool one that I have on my wish list. So I am wearing this today. So yeah, I'm gonna roll up my sleeves because it is getting hot. But let's see who we have on Instagram. They released it the Dino. Yes. Cosmic Fan 04. They have released the Dino Thunder White and Black for Fortnite. Thank you so much. I think everybody's playing with that if you guys like Fortnite. So sometimes I play games, sometimes I don't. So today, let me get my agenda because I will go on a tangent about Power Rangers for forever. So let's see. Choo choo. Okay, so one of the reels I posted was about Kendrix and where she is in the legendary battle. So the question is, who are in either the Zeo or Turbo? Who are in those suits? If you know, especially watching that episode, we know there's been so many Power Rangers that you're wondering who are in the suits. So we know for many of the seasons who are in the suits, but there are some where Rangers took over certain um, because they left the show. And we won't go into the details about that, but we know that Aisha, Rocky, Adam, Tanya, as well as Kendricks, and then, like I said, between those guys, because they took over kind of, but Tanya most likely would be either Zio, Yellow, but that leaves Aisha, Rocky, and Adam. Who are they in what suits? Aisha left. She took the yellow Mighty Morphin from Trini, RIP. And then there's Rocky and Adam. Assuming so, I think they are in the Zeo suits because Rocky, it was either Mighty Morphin or Zeo. And then Adam, it could be either Zeo or Turbo, honestly. And so the question is that I've been seeing on the comments. I'm going to say it because I think there's been a few comments in that Instagram or in that reel itself, the video reel, about where is Kendricks. The hypothesis, or I think someone, I don't know who heard it, where was the theory, but someone said that Power Rangers Turbo, that most likely who are in those suits are the Robo Rangers. And if you're not remembering who the Robo Rangers was or who they were, this is from what I've been reading in the comment section. They've been saying that, or for to start off, it was the episode where Justin, or Robo Justin, thought he was seeing that the other Rangers were robots. Come to find out, he was a robot, and they were trying to figure out what was going on there. Watch the episode. It is a good Power Ranger episode, but they sent those Robo Rangers, Cassie, Ashley, TJ, Carlos, as well as Justin, the Robo Rangers, to Eltar to help Zordon or something like that. And that was in like 1996, 1997, because Space was in 1998. I'm surprised that the Robo Rangers survived that long, but the question is, they were not even fighting during during Power Rangers in Space. We didn't see the Robo Rangers there. That might be just a technical, what do you call it on IM database? A goof that they didn't realize to put the Robo Rangers there. So do you believe that in the legendary battle is that the Power Rangers Turbo was the Robo Rangers? Because that's what the comment section is saying. When I asked, where is Kendricks? And everyone's just saying, the Turbo Rangers are most likely the Robo Rangers. If it is, then that clears it up. But then again, that leaves Aisha, Rocky, Adam, and Tanya with those four. And then the Kendricks. Let's just say all five of them at the moment. They may be in the Power Rangers EO suits. And again, there's no way for that episode, the legendary battle, that they could get all the actors, all the actresses. But us Power Rangers we are thinking in the back of our heads, who are those Rangers? Who's there? It's in our, who knows? I just want to know. That's like who's who. So, what are your thoughts? Who, during the legendary battle, who is in the Zeo suits as well as the Power Rangers Turbo suits? And then where's the question of Aisha, Adam, Rocky, Tanya, and Kendricks? Where are they? Because I think that's a bit hot to debate on that just in one I posted a few weeks ago. So I wanted to bring that up. Yeah. Any concerns about the legendary battle that we should bring up? Definitely. I love the fact, or before we go to the next topic, one of the things that our tribute song last week was Stand in Line. That is tribute to JDF, not JDF, but Tommy Oliver. It's a great song. Yes, it is AI. I have to put that disclaimer. we'll talk about the AI bit in a little bit, but included that during the legendary battle is how he saved the child on the car. He had Saba in his hand. I, was it a sword? I think someone help me. Um, for the kid to get out of the car, and then in the battle itself, he was the Green Ranger. And so I think if you are a Tommy fan, it's a great tribute song. Again, I am not a singer. I try to record myself singing to that song, as well as one of my favorites is Blue Doesn't Mean Forever. And I think we'll see if I post a song of me singing. The lyrics are great. The song's great. We have the 6 songs out. We'll have a new one next week. What has been your favorite of all the tribute songs? Let me just check. I have to go to another window to check all the comments on Instagram. But with these tribute songs, I think majority of the comments have been very positive. Yes, I have been getting negative comments just on the AI alone. However, the comments about the tribute songs have been overwhelming, meaning it's showing more of the positive comments are showing up rather than the AI comments, honestly. And for you, AI, because I'm going to make a reel for this, is insert all the negative AI comments to all the positive comments, because there are some Power Ranger fans that are loving these tribute songs, even though they are AI. It's just, as a Power Ranger fan, especially the Power Ranger fandom, it's great to hear that some of these songs we're getting them people listening them on a daily day-to-day basis. Again, you can listen to our 6 tribute songs. The tribute songs were One Power Forever. That was the first one. And again, One Power Forever, that was the first one I created, and that was the first time I was using tools. And I try to fact check as most as possible, but there's a few that I missed somehow. We missed Kat from SBD, as well as Emily from Samurai. So stay tuned for version 2. So One Power Forever. The second one is Blue Doesn't Mean Forever. That is a tribute to Billy, Rocky, Justin, TJ, as well as Guy, and mentioning Rocky. Yeah, we will have that conversation a little bit about if he was a leader or not, because that was a hot topic, and it still is in the reel that I posted, me doing the lip sync to that song. So we'll have that talk in a few. So the next one is Blood Still Calls. That's a tribute to all the siblings that were lost. And so siblings that were on Power Rangers. So you have Andros, Corone, Leo, Mike, Ryan, Dana, and then I included 2 just little, so that way everybody knows I didn't forget everybody. Aiden and Brody, a little snippet to the end about them too. So that's another one. The next one was Keepers of the Flame. That one's calling out Disney, the Disney Plus reboot of what we learned from Power Rangers in the last 30 years. And then When the Power Calls, that's a great one. That's all things Morphers. So if you haven't heard, I had to do one about the Morphers, because, you can't have Power Rangers without the Morphers. And the very last one, Stand in Line, a tribute to Tommy about his just, I think, is it legacy on Power Rangers when he first arrived to Angel Grove, being the new kid in the hallway, and then end up in the alleyway. And his words after he battled the putties was, "Why me?" And then it just leads him to being the bad Green Ranger, and then the White Ranger, to the Zeo powers, to Turbo, to handing powers to TJ, and then including with the Forever Red, and then Dino Thunder. There's so many Dino season, so I had to get that correct. So Dino Thunder, and then him arriving into the legendary battle, and then the episode where he was in Ninja Steel. Again, the Instagram reels, I can only do a quick snippet, or else it doesn't show. If I make a longer video, I can, but last week I posted part of the song where it starts from Ninja Steel. So I also include that he because in the episode we all found out that he was a dad, and so I had to include that snippet. And then him saying the powers are in good hands. So that is a good tribute song to JDF. Let me know what your favorite tribute songs are. Again, I am not a singer. Let's just say that out there. I'm not a singer. I will post a reel of me trying to sing, and so I could quit with these AI comments. But honestly, with the tribute songs, trying to make sure I am not so like right into the camera, because last time I did this, and when I'm creating these Instagram reels, my face was so into that corner section. So yeah, what has your favorite tribute songs have been? I think everyone's fan favorite is Keepers of the Flame. That one's just all of our childhoods. It starts with a saying, Saturday mornings, afternoons after school. It's just a great one. It's just, I think any Power Ranger fan or anybody grew up with Fox Kids, it must be the first one that everyone listens to. But you can listen to them if you haven't heard, or just checking out this live chat. You can listen to them on Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, iHeartMusic, YouTube Music, Amazon Music. And again, please make sure you have a monthly subscription to these music platforms. I do not want to make any money, so do not purchase these songs. Just make sure you have a monthly subscription. And yeah, that's it. I am paying it out of my pocket to get these songs uploaded so that us Power Rangers fans can listen to these tribute songs. So, and plus, with these tools I'm using to create these songs, it's all out of my pocket. And again, this leads into the next conversation. If anything, I know people are purchasing it on iTunes, because assuming so, because it looks like iTunes is just where you pay per song 99 cents or something. If you do, that's going to go towards the Morphin Grid project. And so, Morphin Grid project, if you have not heard, it is my project where I want to get a Power Ranger fan to a Power Ranger convention every single month. So if you have not been to a Power Rangers convention, either Power Morphicon, PMC, Ranger Stop, Ranger Pop, Go Ranger Station, I think that is, and Morphomonacle, is that correct? Am I saying that right? And I think there's another one that just popped up that I might include in the list. So all you have to do is submit a 30 to 60-second video, submit it in our submission page, and that's it. You will stay in the Morphin Grid, meaning if you don't get selected for this month, you may get selected next month. And again, this only covers the ticket, not travel, but hopefully we are able to do that in the future. But as long as we get the support on Rangers Live Chat, I just want to get a Power Ranger fan to a Power Ranger convention once a month. That is my goal, and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, so share. I'll be posting about the Morphin Grid project once a week. And so if you can share that video, I would appreciate it, because I want to see new fans at the Power Ranger conventions, just at all of them. So that is my spiel about the Morphin Grid project. So please share and tell everybody that we're getting someone to Power Rangers Con every single month. As I take a break, and I'm drinking green tea, in case you want to know. Green tea Thai tea. So that's what I'm drinking. Let's see. Next on the agenda. Okay, so I saw this comment the other day. I posted a reel about how Andros from Power Rangers in Space had all the emotional scenes. I think they gave the Red Rangers a lot of the emotion scenes, honestly. I remember when I mean emotional, like they get angry, they just, I don't know. I think they wanted the Red Rangers to just, I think, thinking of Carter Grayson, he got mad when the recent episode I just saw was when Olympius disguised himself as one of the Rangers, and he just got so upset that, and then Wes Collins on Power Rangers Time Force, when he thought his dad was gone, just so right there. Same thing with Cole. Yeah, I'm just gonna say that they gave the Red Rangers a lot of emotional scenes. So, in that reel about Andros having the emotional scenes, um, someone comment saying that because they were showing where they had the flashback when Andros had the flashback of when Corone got kidnapped. Someone freeze frame and said something that, you know what, it's a good hot topic about talking about is child Corone was wearing a yellow jumpsuit. So the question is, was she potentially, because Andros was wearing a red jumpsuit, red t-shirt, red pants, same thing with Corone, yellow t-shirt or yellow PJs, yellow pants, was she potentially gonna be the yellow space ranger? And again, I'm hearing this from everybody. Please don't look into it. It's just too much. You know what? I been watching Power Rangers for a long time. I think more of the seasons that I have seen are from NPR to through SPD. I think we all have theories, so we want to talk about these theories. But hi Patrick. Yes, Jason never had a girlfriend, and well, we're gonna talk about that soon, Patrick. Think I love seeing familiar faces in these live chats, but we'll be talking about the whole Kimberly, Tommy, Jason. There's a whole conversation I want to have on there too. So, but see, this is where I get sidetracked and just like wind up on my thoughts. Yeah. Do we believe that Corone was going to be the yellow space ranger? Again, we're looking into too much, but honestly, that's my question: was she potentially going to be the yellow ranger if she did not become Astronema? Do you guys believe that? So, next topic that we're going to be talking about, Rocky Not a Leader. So I posted that tribute song. So what I'm doing is taking pieces of the tribute songs I've been creating and just creating little sections and just showing my appreciation to these individual characters or just parts of the song. So that way you guys can just enjoy these songs and listen to them. And one of the sections was talking about Rocky. So this is the song Blue Doesn't Mean Forever. So this Blue Doesn't Mean Forever includes, so that way, and you can, anybody that's just joining us, Blue Doesn't Mean Forever includes Billy, Rocky, Justin, TJ, as well as Sky. So the reason why these 5 characters are in the song, it's meaning if they had to leave being a Blue Ranger, had to change colors from red to blue. That includes Rocky and TJ. So they left being Red Ranger to Blue Ranger. And then again, going back to that whole of had to leave to be leave the Blue Power Ranger powers and no longer be a Ranger. That was Billy as well as Justin. And then I also included Sky because since blue doesn't mean forever, I just burped. 1 second. But with Sky, he changed from blue to red. And so I kind of wanted to put a song out there because you know what? There were several Blue Rangers that had to leave being red or vice versa. And so a hot topic that everyone was, and I know I'm gonna get some conversations when I put the one for TJ is him not being a leader. The hot topic or the hot comment section for Rocky was he was never a leader. I'm gonna take a quick sip. Nasty cough, sorry. But yeah, in that comment section, just from that tribute song, everyone was like, Rocky was never a leader. Tommy was the leader. I was primarily saying that he just had to change from red to blue, and then him being the color red, usually red means leadership. And so it was just saying he got a feel for the red color, meaning that leadership position, even though he did not have it. It just said a feel for leading in the field. And so I think the comment sections was like 50-50. We had people saying, um, again, Rocky was never a leader. And then I think at least I would say 50 to 75% people were like liking the tribute song because I think the word saying credit is when credit is due is that Rocky deserves some respect. Who here feels like Rocky needs the respect just like any kind of ranger? Because I in the comment section to any of the videos I posted, it's like either like they don't like that person as a ranger. I think all the Power Rangers deserve some respect because we didn't have these guys being these characters how they are. I think they deserve the respect because I know um, sometimes it's just the creative writing that they get that they're just being these characters, and so yeah, and I want to give respect to Rocky DeSantos. Speaking of Rocky DeSantos, before we end this conversation about Rocky, is um, James Vanderbeek, James Vanderbeek. He played Rocky DeSantos in the mini film um, a decade ago. I think it was 2015. I might have to fact check that, but R.I.P. James Vanderbeek. I think he started what I wanted to do when I was a childhood. In my childhood, is enjoy filmmaking and all that stuff. And I thought it was surprisingly interesting that he played a part in that Power Rangers film. Yes, I know there was positive and negative comments about that film, but that was a darker version. And what rewatching it after he passed, I have to give him kudos because James Vanderpeek is still a big household name, and him playing Rocky DeSantos. And after not watching that video, that fan film for since it was released and rewatching it, and the gal who played Kimberly, I forget the actress's name, but she was on Battlestar Galactica, if I remember correctly. But I love the comment that she made because I'm just thinking and wondering if James Vanderbeek was a fan of Power Rangers because look after he passed, they also said that James Van Der Beek helped write for the script for the fan film, um, or the short film, and I wonder because Kimberly, the girl playing Kimberly from Battlestar Galactica, she was like, "You were never one of us," and I think that hit us home because after how many like people disrespect the character of Rocky from the show to the people that respected. I love that was kind of cool. That just like, hey, you were never one of us. And I'm like trying to I think maybe possibility that James Van Der Beek was a Power Rangers fan because who would have not known, even if he only seen Mighty Morphin, they had to look at least up to Zeo because who would not know about the Machine Empire? Because that was Zeo, and yeah. What are your thoughts? Do you feel like James Van Beek was a Power Rangers fan? And if we don't know, since he passed away, I believe he was because that was a cool, just short film. And I know I'm gonna get negative comments because people are like, it was should not have been made. It's kind of like 50-50. We get so hard at Power Ranger fans that are like, stick it to the true, and then we have some that are like, yeah, we want the darker version. We want the darker version, honestly. And I think before we move on talking about the Rocky, when I was doing the Power Rangers tribute to Tommy, it was interesting to me when Zordon's like, hey, there's 3 rules about being a Power Ranger. The 3 rules about being a Power Ranger are don't use it for personal gain. And I think the second one is not going into battle or starting a fight unless necessary. Someone fact check that second rule. And 3, not telling anybody that you're a Power Ranger. So, one of the rules was not telling anybody that you are a Power Ranger. So, how many times did anybody tell them that they were a Power Ranger? Yep. I don't know how the Zordon rules was that just like as a Power Ranger or his rules with his group? Who knows? So I just wanted to call that out there because after so many seasons of Power Rangers, some of those rules fell apart, honestly. So let's see. Okay, so Patrick Ruth, if you are still there, this is going to be the hot topic of conversation. So I've been seeing this photo of when Jason and Kimberly kissing. And I had to take a rewatch the ending credits to see what that was about and had to watch that scene even though it was like a tiny little box. I had to zoom in just to make sure I wasn't going crazy. And it showed from the photo, you cannot tell if they're actually kissing because in the video itself, it just looks like in the video at the end of the credits, it shows Jason and Kimberly hugging. And in the photo itself, thank you. Tommy broke the rule with his brother. Yeah. There has been many rules of Zordon that have been broken, and I don't think Zordon was a follow the rules kind of person. Maybe I think it was a kid show, and so no one wanted to see that getting recommended by, yeah. But just going back, and that photo, I cannot tell if he is kissing Kimberly or anything like that. So I don't think it was a deleted scene. I think it is a photo that looks like they are kissing. I don't think it will. If there is that video of them kissing in that end of the credits of the Power Rangers Turbo movie, let me know. I will be posting this as an Instagram reel with said photo and said video of the credits. I don't think it was. Yeah, I don't think Kimberly and Jason were kissing in the Megazord. That would have, yeah, honestly been awkward. But I know in the World Power Rangers things doesn't make sense. If they were a couple, that would have been awkward because in Power Rangers Wild Force, when Tommy, at the very end, Tommy's walking away after the battle with all the Red Rangers, and all the Red Rangers are walking away, and they're all saying their little comments about being a Red Ranger. Like Leo discovering new galaxies. Andros, he said, destroying Zordon. I don't know why he had to bring that up. I think that's totally eyesore, or that would make me sad if when he told all the Red Rangers, see, I could go on a tangent, but he's like, I destroyed the Zordon. Yeah. Zordon was their mentor, so was it necessary for him to say? Who was a writer who wanted that line? Because I think that was awkward. But in the line where Jason, he's like kissing Kimberly at the juice bar. So if they were kissing in the Power Rangers Turbo movie and he made that comment, I think the scenario and the thing spinning in my head was, did they actually date? Because that's so negative. And if so, because we all assume just watching from Ninja Steel is that, or not Ninja Steel, Once and Always, I think whoever wrote that one, that was more of the cosmic feel. It's crazy how every little thing that have happened on any of the Power Rangers series, I think whoever the writer is, they just take a little bit here and here and here, and there have been, so many different kind of like, oh, why, and it creates this like us fandom, just like all these scenarios. So if Jason was like kissing Kimberly at the juice bar, definitely wasn't ice, or I don't know the saying, eyesore, hard to hear or something. If he was dating Kimberly and that is his ex, yeah. Again, I think that photo that's been circulating around, when you type up Power Rangers Turbo, Jason and Kimberly kissing, it doesn't look like they're kissing, because from the video, it just looks like they're hugging. So I just want to end on that because, yeah. Let me see. Okay, so if you have any comments about the Jason Kimberly scenario, let me know. Yeah, we haven't seen Kimberly besides on the comic books. I think that's what we have seen. Any kind of, well, if you can't include Once and Always, how she turns to a tiny little ranger. Yeah, there's no storyline there. Let's see, going down the list. Okay. I was rewatching Power Rangers Wild Force, and I just wanted to talk. Oh, Kimberly was for the streets. What do you mean, Daniel? And hi, Daniel. But yeah, if Kimberly was dating, because the whole scenario, here's the thing before we go to the next hot topic, is there was theories or the internet buzz people or internet said that Adam was going to take over the Red Ranger, Turbo Ranger, and that Jason and Kimberly was going to come back and take over for in Power Rangers Turbo. There's just so much that was going on in that. Just like JK loved, preferred Tommy and Kat. Yeah. And one thing, I think, did we ever figure out if, because Tommy, I just want to say one thing is Tommy originally from Reeside? Because at the end of Ninja Steel, yeah, and then Ninja Steel, he was still in Reeside. Assuming so, I think Reeside was his hometown when he left to go to Angel Grove. So is there anything in the comic books that say that his hometown was Reeside or anything like that? Because I think with him being in Reeside, becoming a doctor, yeah, I just want to say that all out. I think Reeside was his hometown. Okay, so what I was saying was I was rewatching Power Rangers Wild Force, and it was the episode where Princess Shayla and Merrick was singing. And I was just thinking back, how many episodes or how many characters did we see that were singing? And it was great to see. And just looking back of the story, not storylines, but scenes where the Rangers got to sing, and if it was their voice, I got to watch the whole little clip of when Kimberly and Zach were singing in that very clip that they used to give their tributes in Once and Always, that end to their tributes to Tommy and Trini. It brings back those emotions when you heard those songs. I have a list of here. One of my favorite ones was when I saw the episode. It was a very interesting one, but in Power Rangers Zeo, when Tommy and um, Tanya were saying they were doing this whole opera. Just it was interesting that episode. I don't know who. I think as a child, when I was watching that episode, I was like wondering, are they gonna sing while they morph? And believe it or not, in the way that Tanya did it, am I saying her wrong? Nikita Bruce, someone I need to hear her name so I can say it out loud. But she kind of did it's like so like squeaky. It who remembers that like singing episode for Power Rangers Zeo with Tommy and Tanya. There's been several like besides Princess Shayla singing with Merrick, and I was just like, when I watched that episode today, I'm like thinking, you know what? I think that was 22. I was in middle school, but hearing that song, I'm like memories of just like, um, where Princess Shayla is saying like waking up every morning, singing to the deer, and bringing up that freaking deer episode. When Merrick says, "Thank you, dear," it's just like because all the like, as an adult, when you say "oh dear" or anything like that, you're just like when you're rewatching the episode, you're like and hearing Merrick say, "Thank you, dear," I'm like, "Oh dear." Who here uses the dear comments or just yeah. Um, and I think in the Ninja okay, so there was also in Ninja Storm, and then I think Ninja Storm, Samurai, I think those were the only 2, but they had talent shows, and it's interesting to see when we get to see the Rangers do some kind of talent, if they are singing in real life, it's not some other voices singing. But what has been your favorite, just like where Rangers got to sing? I know in Dino Thunder we got Kira to sing. She's an actual uh actress who does sing, so it's a great. Oh, I think one of the Rangers, he is a singer, and there's actually 2. Sorry, I do not think we got to hear Rhett Fisher or the gal from Dino Charge, the Purple Ranger. Someone get me her name. We got her to sing in years ago when we had her as an interview. Dino Thunder, Rhett Fisher. I wish we got to see him sing. That's a reason why I wanted to bring up these episodes of the Power Rangers singing, because I'm like, I'm getting all these comments from people who are like, hey, when talents do, they are the real talent. Don't use AI. I'm making sure we give these guys who are actual singers some just, hey, we remember you, and so we're going to talk about it. So I wish we got to see Rhett Fisher sing, because I think when he was in Power Rangers Lightspeed, he did have a song. I think it's like Matic Mind or something. It's a great. It's not. It's less Power Rangers, more of just like I forget what kind of song it is, but listen to it. It's on YouTube. But it's great to see these Rangers, not just actors and actresses, that they also have talent singing too. So, what has been? Oh, thank you, Daniel. Yes, I did see that. I just saw that Steven Skyler. So yeah, Claire Backwell sang the song of the opening song to Dino Charge, and it was the cutest thing ever. We had her singing live, and I'm not sure if there was an episode where she sang, but I think there was where we had her on the piano or something like that. And then Ron can't think of his last name. This is what happens. Okay, so there has been these comments where they're like, hey, why didn't you look up all these fact checks before you made these videos? I'm doing this live, and me trying to search, that's why I love the comment section. It just helps me out, and everyone just tells me, and you guys are the best of Power Ranger fandom. So, oh yes, I saw that. The Star is Born. I saw that episode. I watched from the season through up to SPD. So I remember that one. Thank you. So I think we talked about there. Okay, so we are within 50 minutes of this live chat. So we're going through the list and we're making time. Again, we're doing these live chats once a week, just talking everything about the Power Ranger fandom. But one of the things we're going to talk about right now is, again, the Disney Plus reboot. And I just saw a comment on my reel say that since there's no more Super Sentai and now there's Project Red. Yeah. Daniel, if you're listening, where can I watch? Because I want to watch the Super Sentai version of, or anybody that's on here, the Megaforce Super Sentai. I have Tubi, and then I have Prime under short. Oh my god. You know the one I'm talking about, but I want to watch the Super Sentai version of Megaforce. I want to see how that is. Yes, R.I.P. Victoria Haynes. I'm excited for the reboot, but at the same time, it will be fun to see what will be done. Yes. And I think one of the comments I did see Gokaiger. Is that the Megaforce one? If it is, where can I watch that? Because the Prime as well as Tubi, it only goes up to Time Force or Wild Force. It doesn't go for the newer seasons. So let me know where I can watch that. But one of the things, when there's no more Super Sentai, that means with the new Disney reboot, we're not gonna get crossovers unless they're gonna have some cameos from the old, like the whole Tommy and Kimberly where they did the movie where they just pop up out of nowhere. We're not gonna get any crossovers. I'm like thinking of all the cool crossovers that they had with I think it was Kamen Rider. That was the first crossover. We had Ninja Turtles. We had a crossover with Space and Lost Galaxy. They brought back Adam as well as Justin, and then just doing the crossovers from every other season. I made videos today saying I post these daily videos and I'm like, what did I post today? I posted about, hey, there's been like every year there has been different teams, different new characters, new powers, new Megazords. And that was the thing with Super Sentai. They made that as a thing. With a new series, are we going to be seeing these characters for the next 4 years? I'm saying the magic number 4 because unless they are able to get to longer to, I think the rule with syndication, it has to be over 100 episodes. So normally with a regular TV show, it's like about 20 episodes. So they would have to go like 5 seasons if they do 20 episodes per season to get syndication. I think that's the rule. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But it'll be interesting if they bring old characters back, but we like what Super Sentai was known for, especially when the American Power Rangers understood, is doing these crossovers. That was the coolest thing, especially as a child, seeing the previous season. I thought it was a change of pace, bringing these old casts and bringing them back for more than 1 or 2 episodes. I was very sad when they only brought Lightspeed for 1 episode, and for Wild Force, it was like 1 episode for Forever Red, 2 episodes for Time Force and Wild Force. I like to have these crossover episodes. Who here loves a crossover episodes. Which one has been your favorite? Victoria Haynes, considering they have used a lot of Sentai in older series, so we could get maybe something interesting and miss the crossover. Ninja Turtles, I was shocked because Ninja Turtles at the same time Power Rangers, I think Ninja Turtles was at the same pace as Power Rangers, but that was a cool crossover, even for a season where it was like, okay, are we gonna get more Power Ranger seasons? And so Power Rangers in Space made, I think they pulled out the um everything in the pocket out of their pockets. I don't know what that saying is, but they pulled out all the tricks and everything to continue allowing us, especially the American version, Power Rangers. Forever Red and Thunderstorm. Yes, there has been some. Again, it's a change of pace, and I'm still sad because with the crossover for the season Lost Galaxy, as you guys know, Lost Galaxy, if I had to pick one season, Lost Galaxy, if I had to buy stuff, it would be Lost Galaxy because for me, there's no way I can buy every single thing. That was a rule I made for myself. Hence the red Lost Galaxy jacket. But how the Space Rangers, we only got to see them in the suits and it was just their um, voices, their conclusion was very sad because we all know Cassie, Patricia. This is what happens when you're live. You don't remember their last names. Had a contract dispute, and so they decided last minute she was no longer going to take the position of the Lost Galaxy Pink Ranger, and Melody Perkins took over the Pink Galaxy Rangers spot. I wish they got their conclusion, or just like that whole. We know we got to see Andros again in Forever Red. Oh yeah, the hype and the Dino Thunder crossover, yes. But yeah, I'm still sad that they couldn't get the proper goodbye or proper, and I'm still sad. I know it was a whole contract and all that stuff. Is Power Rangers Lightspeed is where Danny Saban, the whole his voiceover, the scenes where we see, because most of the time a lot of these rangers are not in the suits, it's just the stunt actors or more or less the American stunt people in their suits, and they do the voice sound booth thing, whatever. And he got another person to do it because I don't think there was time or a contract dispute. I'm like, it doesn't sound like him, and I'm like, I don't know. And I'm a Lost Galaxy fan, so and believe it or not, what we all found out, just getting back into the Power Ranger fandom and seeing it, is like Lightspeed, they had a lot of tall Power Rangers. And I keep on rewatching it now for Power Rangers Lightspeed. Again, I'm going on a tangent and just talking whatever's in my head. Is again, Power Rangers Lightspeed cast, they were so tall. And I know with the cast, especially Sean C. W. Johnson, I think I got the name right, as well as uh, who plays Dana, Allison McKin, something like that. But the gal who plays Dana, she's super tall, and just rewatching it because I know she wore like black boots, high heels, or anything. I'm like, how tall were they? Because yeah. See, again, on a tangent. Let's see. I know we're almost over at time. But okay, 2 more, actually 1 more. We're actually good on time. So, again, I've been posting on Instagram stories of, like, what we're gonna be talking about on these live chats. The day before yesterday, I did a whole thing of, "Hey, let's play a game. You tell me what is true, or what is false." So I listed 4 things. The first one was, um the 4 things, and you had to pick the one that was false. So the first one was, I asked, not asked, but oh my God. Oh, Allison Alley Sutherland. She was my date for PMC 2018. That was A. So A was asking Allison Sutherland or Allison Kipperman Sutherland, or it's Allison Sutherland Kipperman. Again, I'm repeating it so I don't have to fix these videos later for later. To PMC 2018. She was my date. To the Angel Grove prom. That was cool. She's a total sweetheart. B. Oh, Blake Foster at PMC 2016. It was a Sunday. I was totally just done with nothing bad about it. It was my first PMC 2016. I was just so tired that I just went to the restaurant across the street from Pasadena Convention Center, and my dog's playing with the toys. But I was just sitting there, just getting some lunch and some drinks, just by myself. I'm very like in the middle, introvert, outrovert, or extrovert, and I just needed some quiet time, just from all the fun stuff that I did at PMC, and I just needed a moment to myself. And who Blake Foster and Steve Cardenas' cousin walks into the bar, and I'm like thinking, oh, this is and you're kind of like Pasadena Convention Center is very close to all the like outdoor like restaurants and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. They just sit I don't remember where they sat, but I was like, oh, they're getting like drinks. And I'm like, you know what? Just for the fandom, I will pay for your drinks. And I think from what I remember, they were so thankful. We took a picture. I had to take a picture or there was no proof, but I bought them the drinks, and Steve Carney's cousin was like, hey, come to Steve's booth and I'll give you a shirt. So and it was cool. I was like, I came to Steve Carney's booth, and he gave me I think it was a T-Rex red t-shirt. And so that one was true. And then C, when we were doing these live interviews back then, and when we were interviewing the cast, I know there were so many questions that were very repeat, especially at the panels or when you did interviews. They were just like the same old questions. And so for my first PMC, I'm like, you know what? I have to ask an embarrassing question, especially during that Lost Galaxy panel. I was wearing the Lost Galaxy red cosplay with the helmet. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask a embarrassing question to Danny Saban. I'm like, hey, how did you feel when you had to rip apart your shirt? That was me. We have video footage. You get to watch that. But they all laugh. And I think the whole cast was like, did you really have to ask that? And honestly, when I think, just asking that question, it's interesting when they have to rip apart their shirts. Or at least be shirtless in Power Rangers. It's just, I think it's one of those moments where you're just like, is this a TV show or is this PG-13? Like, why are they having their top, like being shirtless? And I think that moment will live in my head, just asking that embarrassing question, because they all smiled and they all laughed. So, you know what? Ask some questions at the cons that are really just different from the norm, because we have all heard it, especially at the cons. Let's see what else. And the last one was, if I had two full cosplay suits and I only have one, the Lost Galaxy Red. So that is it. And again, listen to our tribute songs. If you have not listened to any of the tribute songs, please listen to them. They are all on all the music platforms. We will be releasing another one next week. And I love doing these live chats because I get to like, hey, everything that's been in my head about Power Rangers gets to hear what everybody's thoughts and comments. And I love the fact that all of you guys are enjoying these tribute songs. And I apologize if you're hearing a little crackle of noise. My dog is playing with a dog toy. Milo. Dude. Stop. Okay, so I know we're over time, and I know Again, if you are listening or supporting us or just supporting me on Rangers Live Chat, please listen to our tribute songs. Yes, they are AI. Always having putting that disclaimer, but again, everybody's enjoying these just tribute songs because it's our childhood, the Power Ranger fandom. Milo. Okay, taking that away for a second. But also tell everybody about the Morphin Grid project. We want to get a fan to the Power Ranger conventions once a month. So if you just like to share our reels, we'll be posting it and reminding everybody about the Morphin Grid project once a week. Again, once a month, we're sending someone to a Power Ranger convention. So please share. That's all I need to get people. We only get like 1 or 2 submissions so far. So please share about the Morphin Grid project. Because it's just something that fills my heart that I just want to get a Power Ranger fan to a Power Ranger convention. Again, it's just a ticket, but again, we'll hopefully get more as this project grows. So please tell everybody about the Morphin Grid project and let me know what other conversations we should talk about Power Rangers in general, because the comment section gets pretty busy just talking about when I post these reels about certain episodes, certain tribute songs. So Victoria Haynes, oh, I found you because of the songs. Victoria, what I don't think I've seen any comments on here, but what has been your favorite tribute song so far? And again, if you don't know who we are or just me in general, Rangers Live Chat has been around since 2016. We took a hiatus since 2018, just brought it back earlier this year, and I just miss talking about Power Rangers in general. And just talking about what's going on in the world of Power Rangers, especially with this new Disney Plus reboot, all the swag, all the conventions. Yeah. If you have any hot topics, I'm looking at the comment section. So if you're leaving comments in any of the reels, I'm looking at them and just making notes, and we'll have live chat conversations. So, and again, if you are new to Rangers Live Chat, we are doing these weekly live chats every single week. Do I pick favorite? But recently it's been the recent one on Ryan. Yes. Blood Still Calls. And again, I try to make sure I see your profile picture with your name, because most of the time everybody shows up at these cons and you guys tell me your names and I can put a face to your social media profile picture. But yeah, the one Blood Still Calls, that one was a different one because before we end this live chat, it was just something where I'm just like, I love the siblings storylines and trying to tie it in. This is all why I like the Power Ranger fandom. We get to talk about this and just bring, and I think I got a comment or a message saying that, hey, some of these Rangers need the respect that it's not just them like Primary 6 from Mighty Morphin, calling out these other seasons, all of these other characters. Like, my favorite season is Power Rangers Lost Galaxy because I have a thing about space and galaxy. And it was kind of cool as a child seeing that there was a season dedicated about space travel, and it was different than norm. Like, I love the other seasons, but that was just one that just stood out to me as a child, and that was my childhood. So, yes, Daniel, I know you. And again, let me know. Yeah, a lot of the times I've met everybody at these cons. I have not been to a con in a long time. I'm in a state where there's not that many cons, and so hopefully we get to grow this a little bit more, and hopefully I get to see more people that watches these live chats. So, thank you, Victoria Haynes. If you have not added us on Instagram, please do. We're on Instagram, Facebook, as well as YouTube. And I apologize if you are on TikTok and YouTube, have been behind on posting these reels, but it feels like you guys can find us anywhere. And we're all up to date on Instagram as well as Facebook. That's where we're posting all these daily reels. And hopefully I'm catched up on TikTok and YouTube with posting the reels on there. But please, again, share, like, comment. We've been posting new reels every single morning from these live chats, based on your guys' comments, things like that, and just making sure we continue this powering your fandom. Again, it's after we're a little bit over an hour, and hopefully we get to talk more about Power Rangers next week. So again, have a good week. It is Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. If you're not a Traders Peacock fan, I will be watching that tonight, as well as School Spirits. Those have been my favorite, as well as the hunting parties. So non-Power Rangers related, those are the three other ones. And besides, I also like watching soap operas too. So General Hospital. If there's any other things that you guys, we might do a non-Power Ranger like live chat one of these days. But other than that, everybody have a good night, and I will talk to everybody later.